When Xiaomi announced the Mi Max last year, nobody expected to be particularly popular. Serving as a good midway ground between carrying smartphones and a tablet, the Mi Max delivered battery life, a large screen, and a generally great experience in a well-priced package. 1 year on, Xiaomi is back with the Mi Max 2 with a bigger battery in roughly the same sized package. Even though the Mi Max 2 is already looking quite exciting, but is it worth an upgrade? Let's find it out. The Xiaomi Mi Max 2 follows the footsteps of the Redmi Note 4 and offers a design that is familiar to Xiaomi fans. That is not to say that the design hasn't changed at all, but there is a degree of refinement and a maturity to the design compared to its first generation Mi Max. The front of the phone packs a 6.44-inch screen. Generally, the size of the phone is almost the same as Mi Max and there are fairly larger bezels on all the sides of the phone. The top, of course, houses the earpiece, a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. Along the bottom lies the 3 backlight capacitive keys that corresponds to menu, home and back. The volume rocker and the power button lies on the right side of the phone, and we observed the tactile feedback to be much improved over the previous generation device. The left side of the device has the hybrid SIM slot that doubles up as a dual SIM slot or as a single SIM and a micro SD card slot for expansion. Along the top edge is a 3.5mm audio jack with an IR blaster placed next to it. Xiaomi has best out the second generation Mi Max with a USB Type-C port, which brings it in the line with most of the higher end devices from the company's portfolio. The phone also sports a dual loudspeaker on either side. While not quite the loudest speaker around, the dual speakers sound clear and distortion free through the soundscape. Due to the placement of the speakers, certain tracks that makes use of stereo effects can sound a bit unbalanced. Moving over to the back of the phone, and once again you will observe some big changes in design. Perfectly matched on the matte black color variant of the Mi Max 2, you might not even notice the bands at first glance. The entire back panel is very smooth and almost but not quite slippery. While this makes a lot of ergonomic sense on the smaller handset, here we felt a bit unsure while holding up the device. It is still not the most pocketable phone and you probably won't be able to fit it in a skinny jeans, but it is a lot more comfortable than the first generation device when held in hand. One of the key aspects of the Xiaomi Mi Max 2 is of course the display. The larger 6.44-inch Full HD panel is a great to look at. Color reproduction and the brightness level are quite good, though not the absolute best. The brightness level are just about sufficient to ensure daylight visibility, though once again we had preferred a higher level here. There are few if any smartphones that provide such a large screen experience at this price point, and it is clear that the certain forgivable sacrifices have had to be made to achieve it. Compared to the Snapdragon 652 processor on the Mi Max, the Snapdragon 625 on the Mi Max 2 might appear a bit underpowered. The higher clock speed too compensate to a degree. All said and done, paired with the 4 gigs of RAM, performance is absolutely satisfactory and we had no trouble juggling through the multiple apps. We did notice the phone choking a bit while handling high resolution images. The hardware focus here is on the power efficiency though, and the Snapdragon 625 chipset barely sips into the massive battery on the device. Following the Mi Max 2 continues the trend of being able to take a serviceable photos and not much more than that. The rear-facing 12-megapixel camera has an IMX386 sensor, f2.2 aperture, which is reasonably bright enough. A face detection autofocus mechanism is also employed to facilitate faster focusing as well. Coming to the image quality, daylight shots are predictably decent and the phone manages good color rendition with a decent level of clarity across the shots. Photos are generally sharp as long as the lighting remains good. In low light, image rapidly degrades. There is an ample noise and unless you hold the phone absolutely still. In terms of video capabilities, the phone is capable of capturing pretty good looking 4K video in a well-lit condition. The Mi Max 2 ships with Android 7.1.1 on board and has a MIUI 8.5 on top. The phone will receive an update to MIUI 9 soon, which is expected to bring a number of new features including split screen mode. As it stands, the interface is exactly the same as we have seen on the whole range of phones from Xiaomi. Moreover, the MIUI 9 is said to bring the ability to uninstall system apps that should help users who want a leaner experience. Like most Xiaomi devices, the Mi Max 2 is well endowed when it comes to the connectivity options with a full range suite of network connectivity features including 4G VoLTE, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.2 and GPS. There is still an IR blaster on the top that you can use to control most consumer electronics. The phone does ship with the 64 gigs of storage, out of which close to 53 gigs is available at the first boot. This time, Xiaomi has managed to increase the battery life up to 5300 mAh, and this has a profound effect on longevity. The phone easily lasted at least 2 days of extensive use and still had a bit of charge left over. The phone also has a Quick Charge 3.0 support to top off the large battery in a reasonable amount of time. The Mi Max 2 is a unique device that is larger than most so-called a phablet, yet it is uniquely positioned to be much more portable than tablets. The Mi Max 2 takes everything good from the original and improves it further. Excellent battery life and a refined design alongside the same massive screen is the USP here. We do wish the company had opted for a better or at least a better optimized camera. It isn't terrible, but it does feel like a letdown on what is otherwise a very well-rounded device. The Mi Max 2 is priced at Rs 16,999 and is definitely recommended for anyone who wants a large screen device or a massive battery life.